Hi there,
Hello.
everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday class. Kat's going to be doing the chat, so she'll be in the background there. If you need any help or any support, anything happens dramatically, you have a release of energy or something like that, or you feel a bit uncertain of what's happening, then you can just tune into the chat, and Kat will help you. Okay, excellent. Well, believe it or not, this is the 22nd consecutive Wednesday class. We've done 22. We started in March the 25th. There's been an unbroken series of Wednesday classes supporting you right the way through the whole coronavirus thing. Okay, so it's been pretty much 5 months to the day that we've been all together on a Wednesday. It's been really good fun. And I'm going on holiday actually for 3 weeks starting next week. So Kat and Basti are going to come in and they're going to
Yeah.
lead you for the exercise the next 3 weeks. And then in 3 weeks' time, 4 weeks' time, we're going to put together a 10-week set of classes leading up to Christmas. And we're going to keep the things you love the most about the classes, but we're going to add in little different things as we go through the 10 weeks. We're going to put more of a structured class, and hopefully we're going to get some more people to come in. Okay, so great. So without further ado, let's find out how you're doing. We've seen some interesting changes over these last 22 weeks, we've basically adapted the class as you have changed and as your stress levels have changed. So let's find out how you're doing straight away. Let's find out how you're coping, and we'll get an overview of how you are. We've seen a gradual improvement over 22 weeks, the initial shock of the whole situation and then easing out of it. And we've seen some interesting energy changes as well, which we're going to continue working on today. Okay, so you can see there, it's very different from what it was like a few months ago. We've still got some people we need to help in the community here, and we want to make sure we get you all up towards the okay and coping well situation. Okay, so one of the favorite bits, certainly for me over the last 22 weeks, has been mapping how my internal energy's changed, and I'm sure you found the same thing. So let's not leave that out. Let's check in again, take you through a meditation and internal tuning in, and all you need is a piece of paper and divide it into three sections. Okay, so I'm just going to put myself on full screen here, show you the piece of paper and divide it into three, and I'll lead you through tuning in to the three burners. Okay, if you're new to the class, the three burners are three main areas of energy that exist in the human body, and they're used a lot in Chinese medicine and in Shiatsu to balance out the energy system. We've used that as a really effective model over the last 5 months to help us deal with all the various different stresses that have been going on. Okay, so let's tune in first of all to our lower burner, and we're going to do it without touching this week. We're going to just use internal focusing. Okay, so just sitting or standing comfortably. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to bring our mind's eye, our attention down into the lower burner. And if you feel you can feel the pelvic floor is the bottom part of the burner. The front of the abdomen around the dantian area, that's the around here is the front. And then importantly, you don't need to bring your attention round into the sacrum and the lower back, the lower lumbar. So it's almost like a kind of bowl there. All right. So just tuning into that area internally. Okay, and ask yourself a simple question. What is it like? See if you can turn it into an image or some words. And we're going to write that into the lower burner part of the paper. An interesting thing about Chinese medicine is that there's exercise systems is there's a kind of like an ideal state for these three burners, and we can use the different techniques that we know now to kind of regulate everything and work on our internal. I can hear some thunder there. Internal energy. Okay, so it's the lower burner. Got that? Excellent. Right, here we go. And so now it's the middle burner. This is where the liver and the stomach are, and this is this area here. And we're going to just tune in again with our mind's eye, just tuning internally, focusing inside. And you should be able to feel like where the diaphragm is. So as you're gently breathing internally, you'll feel the diaphragm moving right really deep here in the middle of the body. So if you go down below that into this area above the navel and into the lower thoracic spine, which is this part where the ribs connect. So it's this whole middle area here. So again, tuning into that area, right into the back. Fantastic. Okay, right now, and then get a sense of what it's like by saying to yourself, what is it like? And we're going to draw that in the middle one. Okay. And I'm sure you can probably remember, even a few weeks, maybe even months back, what it was like and the changes that have occurred. Okay, very good. Okay, so now we get into the upper burner. Now this is the whole upper, above the diaphragm. We've got the rib cage, we've got the whole of the lungs, we've also got the heart, obviously the heart organ, pericardium here. So again, closing our eyes, tuning into the whole of the upper burner. Don't forget to go right through into the area of the heart and right into the back. So you're tuning into the whole space there. Okay, and ask yourself, what is that like? You got it? Yeah. So we're going to fill that in the top. The top piece of paper. Okay. Right. Very good. Okay. So just a brief reminder: the lower burner, ideally, according to Chinese medicine, should feel quite solid, relaxed, but solid. You don't want it to be too hot or too cold. Just a nice, firm, sort of solid base there. The middle burner is the one that we want to try and avoid getting hot or blocked. So if you feel it tense or you're kind of blocked, painful maybe, then that's something we need to work on. The upper burner they say it should be like a mist. So you want a lot of space there. You don't want too much heat. It wants to be quite cool, and you don't really want any constriction really around the heart or any feeling of heaviness around the heart, because that's the kind of emotions getting in there. So thinking about those ideal three burner states, think about what you've just drawn, and then we'll launch the poll on which burner would you like to work on. Okay, because this will again allow us to focus the class today. Let's see if we can get a bit more of a balance here, because last week, if you remember, we had a massive vote for the upper burner, and hopefully we would have balanced that out a bit for this week, and it'll be a little bit more even, which is exactly what's happened. Okay, so what we did last week must have really worked. We did a lot of work on the lungs, connecting it with the lower burner and everything. This is really, really good. Okay, so now we've got pretty much equal upper and middle and relatively few lower burners. The lower burner will always work on though, because it's really important. It's the foundation of our energy. Okay, but this is an interesting change. Okay, right, very good. So now we're going to go back to basics here, because I'm going to get you to tune into how you're feeling up and down. The basic assessment of whether we need to work on connecting with the earth or connecting with the heavens. Okay, you probably remember this. We haven't done this for a few weeks, so let's do it now, and I'll launch another poll in a moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand in a neutral position. You can sit. If you're too tired, you can't stand up, you can just sit. That's fine too. Okay, I'm just going to stand without really doing anything particular. We're already aware of our internal climate kind of thing in our body. So now let's extend our awareness out into the heavens and into the earth. The way we do this is by lining the spine, imagining this golden thread, and just relaxing the sacrum down. Yeah, so it's a bit like a pendulum just swinging there. Okay, now that's your spinal alignment. Now if you just tune into your energy, do you generally get the feeling that you're sinking down really heavily like this, down into the earth? Or do you get the feeling that you're floating up and you're not really connected to the earth? or do you feel pretty much balanced in the middle? Okay, so do you feel generally heavy and kind of stuck down into the earth? Or do you feel like you're floating up, or do you feel pretty much in the middle? Okay, that's a really important thing that we need to find out. We can add that into the whole balancing the burner thing. Okay, and we can okay, so let's just see. So it's basically about balances in the middle, and it's very too much grounded at the bottom and very much too much up, ungrounded at the top, and then just a little bit too up. So there's a range there. Okay, and we did this a few weeks ago. We got a pretty much a perfect bell curve, a perfect distribution. It was exactly even. So this is really interesting. This is a very, very significant change, because we've got a much bigger proportion feeling too heavy and too grounded. And that's part of what's been happening in the last few weeks as we're coming out of lockdown. And we've got quite a few people who've got who get more of a kind of heavy, depressed feeling, and that's because of how long it's been going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to lighten up people. We're going to get you lightened up and just give you a little bit more kind of hope, a bit more connection with the heavens. That's what it's for. Excellent. So we've got some really good information here, and we can work on that. So let's go. I'm going to just let Kat sort out the chat, and we're going to start work. Okay, so here we go. Okay, now one of the things that can make you feel very heavy, I kind of feel heavy, but also if you're going up too much as well, it can help. It can help this, and that is to remove obstruction in the body. We're seeing quite a lot of that at the moment. Obstruction, and that's basically caused because of emotions that get stuck in the body, stuff like that. And the best way to move that is by using shaking technique. So before we do anything else, we're going to scan through our body, and we're going to do a little bit of shaking just to release any tension or any blockages. Okay, so first of all, we're going to go back into that alignment, and we're going to scan through our body, like Basti's been doing this with us in previous classes, going through a body. It's kind of like scanning like a photocopier through a body like this. Okay, and what we're looking for is we're looking for any areas that feel kind of stuck. You might already have an idea from your burners. Maybe it's in the joints, maybe in the shoulders, hips, whatever. Just go through your body, find the most place that you'd like to release. Okay, I've got one. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a very small shaking, just in that one area. We're just going to shake it. And as you shake it, I'd like to just release that area. Breathe into that area.
Cliff, sorry for the small interruption. Would you be able to just talk a little bit louder? Someone was just saying it's quite quiet when you're standing back.
All right. What I'll do is
Thank you.
I'll mic volume up as well. Hang on.
That's all right.
No, that's great. Thank you for letting me know. I obviously need my holiday. I'm like not talking. I'm my voice.
Thank you, Cliff.
Okay. That's okay. Right. Okay. I'll talk louder. I've got the volume up maximum now. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if that's any better. 1, 2, 3 testing. Yes. Good. Okay. So. Yep. So you're doing the shaking, and there we are. I think that'll be much better now. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're doing the shaking. And then what we do is we take that shake and keep going, and we spread it right through the whole body. Okay? Okay, so just keep going, releasing that area. Now, if you're on your own, you don't mind disturbing the neighbours, you can put a bit of sound in there as well. So you're going, or change the pitch of the sound. Put the sound into the area. And then get the sound to shake through your whole body. Okay, very good. And then just slow up. Okay, and then check in again. Okay, you probably feel when you go through, notice that the area that you focused in on is now much more released. And that's something you can do on a daily basis, especially if you're starting to get really feeling of a real heaviness there. That'll help lighten it up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to release the spine. The reason for that is because even if you're feeling a little bit too up, which some of you are, most of you tend to feeling more down, it's very important that we release the whole spine. Okay, and this is a really useful exercise to do. We're going to lift up our arms, breathe in. Okay, and then as you breathe in, we stretch up. And now we're going to breathe out and lift the head up and stretch slightly back. And what we're doing is we're imagining the front of the spine, the whole spinal column releasing backwards. Nice and easily, no straining. Then we're going to breathe in. Okay. And we're going to breathe out. And we're going to just float down. As we're floating down, we're just allowing the head to go down, and you can feel any tension in your spine, breathing into any areas of tension and just hanging. We're using the weight of our own body to open up the spine. Got it? Okay, then breathing in again. And breathing out. Okay, and I'm lifting my head this way and up, so you're not compressing the back, lifting the head up and stretching up, yeah? Breathing in, coming up to the vertical again, and then breathing out. Imagine you're floating down through water that's supporting your body. Let your head go forwards, open up, relax the spine. There we go. Okay, let's just do it one more time. Getting the breath to come up, breathing in. Breathing in, breathing in, breathing in. Okay, lift the head up. Stretch backwards, gently opening the front of our spine. And then we breathe in. And float down. Okay, and then just hanging, breathing into any areas of tension in the spine. Okay, right, good. So that's 3 times we've released the spine and we've opened it up both ways. So now watch, look, we come up, we're just bringing the head up. Imagine your head tops being pulled up by that golden thread. Okay, move around a bit until you can feel where your center should be. And then we're going to bounce just a little bit, bounce. Shake out any other tension in the spine. Okay, so now you should find it a lot easier to connect upwards. So if we get in touch with this point here and feel that thread suspending us. Okay. Those of you who are feeling very heavy at the beginning, can you feel that lightness is already starting to come in? Removing obstructions in the body, opening up the spine are really essential. Okay, if you're feeling too much like going up, you can open up kidney 1 and connect down. Okay, very good. Okay, we're getting there. So now let's do some basic work on energizing the lower burner, which is the foundation of the middle and the upper burners. Okay. We're going to create the base in the legs again. I'm going to get that connection down into the earth because we need that strong base in order to be able to release upwards, don't we? Okay, so here we go. We're going to rub our hands together. Okay, gate of life or the dantian just below the navel. Placing both hands on that, so find where your navel is and go about 1.5 inches down to about here You place the middle of the palm right over there and then the other palm over it, okay? And now the most important thing is to get the breathing down there. Remember we did this, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to relax our shoulders, okay? Feel the alignment. Relax the upper and middle burners. And just as you're breathing, imagine that energy from the breath is going down into this place here, underneath your hands. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, and then as you breathe out, you imagine the energy from the breath stays here in the lower burner. And we keep the upper burner and the middle burner really relaxed. Okay, got it? Let's just do a few breaths. Very good. Right, so now we need to build on that by opening up kidney 1. Remember, that's the point on the foot. Okay, relaxing the knees and the hips, sinking down slightly. So I'm doing this, sinking slightly. Okay. Feeling the connection with your mind down through the legs into kidney 1. Okay, lower abdominal breath, breathing in. Okay, breathing out. Okay, you want to try this now? We're going to send the chi from the lower burner down, the energy down the legs and into the earth. So breathing in. Hold the chi in the lower burner, breathe out. Send it down through the legs into the earth. Okay, breathing in. Breathing out, sending the energy down. Open that kidney 1. Feel it going down like a root all the way down into the center of the earth. Okay, now paradoxically, if you keep doing that, you'll feel much easier to connect up and down. Just try this. Look, breathing in. Send the energy down through your legs. Okay, now float up your upper body towards the heavens from the top of your head. Can you feel that? You see, that's a much more stable way of getting that lightness in your body, because what you don't want to do is to go from here to here. Okay? What we want is we want the connection and then the lightness coming out. Okay? It's all to do with the balance of yin and yang, isn't it? Okay, let's just try another couple of breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. Okay, send that energy down and lightly float the head up. Excellent. Okay, so let's just do a few rotations here just to energize the dantian. Okay, we're going to imagine it going all the way through into the lower back here. Okay, very good. And then just shaking the arms out. All right, now checking in time, okay? Let's see how we feel in terms of being 2 up and 2 down. Now what you should feel is a strong center now here, really nice feeling of grounding in, and this kind of lightness is starting to feel more secure in the upper body. So even if you were too floaty before, you should feel more kind of grounded. And certainly if you feel kind of heavy before, you should have a strong base connected to the earth and a feeling of lightness coming out of that. Okay, excellent. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on. We're going to work on the middle and the upper burners, and we try and get them to be as free as possible. Okay, so let's work up to middle burner. Let's do a quick test here, feeling around the diaphragm like we did the other week. You might find that there's stiffness or discomfort here, in which case we want to definitely work on that. Do some self shiatsu here directly underneath the rib cage, just to move it a little bit. Okay, and the other thing that we need to do is we need to move the chi in the middle burner. Okay, and our favorite exercise for this is the twisting exercise. We've done lots of variations of this. You've got your nice strong base now, haven't we? We've got a good strong base, so we've got something that we can rotate from, okay, in a really stable way. Can you see that? The head is being supported upwards, a nice natural way. So we've got this lightness, this groundedness, and in the middle, what we want is flexibility. So just do it just to where it feels comfortable. You can turn your head and your eyes in the direction of the turning as well. Okay. And as we're doing that, we're breathing into the middle burner. Nice, easy breaths. And as we're breathing out, we're just letting that go, letting that release. Okay, now if you're getting any kind of anxiety or frustration, that's the two emotions that are most related to the middle burner. Okay, it's really important to get that as free as possible, because basically the whole nervous system, especially the vagal nerve, connects with the digestive system. So if we can relax this area, that's going to send a signal up into our brain saying that we're safe, okay, and we don't need to worry. Okay, that's a way of unwinding that kind of anxiety and frustration emotional thing. Okay, so keep it moving, and we're thinking space, we're thinking freedom, movement. Okay, now it's probably a good idea for us to give that middle burner a little bit of a help with some Do-in techniques, and this is stimulating the acupuncture meridians that connect with the middle burner. And those meridians are the stomach and the spleen channels, which run down the front of the body, and the liver and gallbladder that run down the sides. So let's start off with the stomach first, okay? I'll give you a little bit of a hint. If you feel more pain and stiffness on this side of your body, okay, on your right side, that's more the liver side, and this side is more the stomach. So you might want to just have a quick feel around and see which side feels the most blocked or the most stiff, and then see what happens after we've worked the channels. So let's start off by working the stomach and spleen channels, and they're down the front of the body. Very easy to find. You can't go wrong really. You go to the front and you just go to the outside along this quadriceps muscle here, and this is the stomach channel. So let's just do some tapping down here. As we're doing it, we're imagining a connection from here down the front of the body into the channels. Yeah? And we get to the kneecap, go around the outside of the knee. Remember this point, the 3 mile point? If you're feeling a bit weak, you need a bit of energizing, give this one a good pummeling. And then we go down to the ankles, and then we go up the inside of the body, inside the legs, up here. This is the spleen channel. All right, then we can go around the circuit again. I'll just give you a bit of a close up. So we're just going down the front, outside of the leg like this, and then down the outside of the shins, down to the feet. Okay. And then up the inside of the legs. And down the outside again, this is the stomach. Okay, very good. And this is also going to help us with getting that connection with the earth. Okay, so now get that feeling. You can feel a connection now right down the front of the legs. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Right, so now let's go for the liver and the gallbladder. And this is more on the sides of the body, from the hips here. This is one of the channels that we use a lot to treat sciatica and things like that in Shiatsu. We're going to go down the outside of the outside, right down the outside of the legs here. Down to the ankles, up the inside, down the outside, inside, the outside. Okay, very good. So it's right up the inside of the legs. Can't really go wrong. Just brushing off. Okay, now check this out. If you feel around here again, you feel that? It's just a little bit more open and a little bit more relaxed, and that's because we've connected with those channels there. If we turn, do another test, you see how much easier that is? Okay, so that's really good. Okay, middle burner. If you need more of that in the next week, especially if you get a bit anxious or frustrated, then that's the one for you to do this. But the important thing is to get that connection with the earth first, because what you don't want to do is this kind of thing. You don't want this to be going on. You want this connection with the earth, establish the lower burner, and then free up the middle burner. It will be nice and stable. Okay, so now we come to the upper burner. That was the favourite last week, wasn't it? But we managed to tune that out pretty well in the last week, so that's really good. So last week we concentrated mainly on the lungs, so let's just open up the lungs here, and then we can get straight on and work the pericardium and the heart channel. Okay, so this is a really good Qigong exercise. I'll just give you a bit of a close-up. I'm just doing this, okay? You can put a little bit of a bounce into it as well. The important thing is to get the thumbs out like this, and that opens up the lung one area there. Okay, now as we're doing this, this is another great way to connect up with heaven's energy, because the lungs bring the air in. So let's get that base nice and solid. Open up kidney 1. Feel the breath sinking down into the dantian. Okay. And now let's get the alignment. Feel that connection with the upper, with the top of the head upwards. And feel the whole spine just hanging down naturally. Very good. Okay, very, very good. It's a very nice feeling, isn't it? Okay, nice and stable and free in the upper body. Okay, very simple but very, very powerful thing to do. You're going to get those thumbs moving outwards. Open up lung 1. That's this area here. Very, very good. Okay, so then we bring the hands to the side. We're going to tune in internally to the upper burner. We're going to tune in, and I want you to just get a sense of how your heart is feeling. Ideally, it should feel really relaxed and open. You shouldn't really be aware of it. If you've got a tightness across here, or a feeling of like it's like a block inside your body, that's kind of a stress thing. That's what happens to the heart. So we need to get that nice and open and freed up. Okay, so let's do this stretch for the pericardium. This is a very effective stretch for the pericardium. We're just going to breathe in, come forwards like this, breathe out. Okay, gently coming back on the out breath. Feel the connection deep into the chest. Connect with the middle finger and just relax it and open it up. Okay, very good. And again. Very good. Breathing in. You feel that all the way into the chest. Very good. Okay, and then just shaking out. Okay, now what we want to do is to release any tension that's in the upper burner that's related to the pericardium. We can do that with some Do-in techniques again. I'll give you a bit of a close-up. We're going to use just the fingertips because you want it quite light or very loose fists. And we're going to work down the inside of the arm here. It goes into the palm, and then the pear channel runs up the outside of the arm. Yeah. So as we're doing this, we're calming the inside of our upper burner. And we're going to tap down. Into the palm of the hand. Around 3 times. And then stroking off, just stroking off. We do the other side. So it's this area here. We start and we work down this way. Okay, and you'll feel a difference when we do the stretch again in a minute. You'll feel the difference having worked the channel. Okay, and there's facial connections right down from the arm, right really deep into the chest and around the pericardium. Very good. Okay. Right, now check this out. Okay, check this out. First of all, just standing. Now, if you just close your eyes or just tune in internally, you'll feel a kind of tingling feeling down the middle of your inside of your arms. Okay, now if you follow that tingling feeling, you'll feel a kind of energized feeling into the upper chest there. That's the connective tissue, that's the channel being activated. Okay, and now check this out. Look, if we do this again, breathing in. Okay, breathe out. Can you see how your arms go back much further now? And there feels a lot more space there. And that's really a really good thing to do if you get kind of like a constricted feeling in the heart area, okay? And here's a first aid point that you can use yourself. We've talked about this before. It's like Heart Protector 8. It's just to the, not quite in the middle of the palm. It's slightly to the first finger area. It's right in here, okay? And if you feel around, you'll feel kind of like an indentation there. And if you just relax and press in, you might very well get a feeling of a kind of opening feeling in really deep in here, okay? And just try that. Relax your hand, relax your arms, feel a connection with the pericardium. Okay, and that's a major point that's used for anxiety. So if you during the day you get any kind of stress, that's a really good stress relieving point. We can just hold that. No one will even notice we're doing it. We do it in the queue while we're queuing up, or just whatever, just pressing in there, just feeling around until you can find that point. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now let's go for the heart channel, which is one of the most protected channels in the body. And so we're just going to do some gentle stretches for that. We're going to open that up, and that's more the deeper part, the emotional connection of the heart. So let's first of all put our hands in this position here. And if we make sure that we've got the kidney 1 open, make sure we're connected down into the earth. Keep the breath into the lower abdomen. Okay, and now what I'd like you to do with me is just to open up heart 1, open up the armpits, and you imagine there's an egg underneath each armpit. Okay, this is a Qigong thing. Okay, got that? Now, if you keep that alignment, keep that connection, and open that egg there, you'll feel a kind of more of a connection down the arms. And that's the heart channel, which goes to the little finger starting to open up. And we can very gently stretch that by stretching up and just bringing the hands back behind us like this. Keep that armpit open. Okay, and then slowly breathe out. Got it? Okay, breathe in. If you're not getting much of a stretch, just try moving your elbows out slightly, and that will open up the channel a bit more. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, got it? Okay, now keep that kidney 1 secure, keep the breathing low in the body, and slowly move your hands up like this. Okay, and that in itself is a very good, simple routine for calming the heart down. And that's again a vagal nerve thing. It connects up with the brain, and it will really help calm you down if you start feeling a bit panicky during the day for any reason. Okay, so let's find some really good points here for calming the heart channel and calming the mind. And I'm going to show you a couple of points. We've got heart 3, which is a really good point. And the way to find it's real easy to find is you just bend your elbow, bring your finger along this crease here until it stops, the end of the crease. And then if you just gently press in there, you'll find there's like an indentation just by the inside of this bone here. Can you feel that? Okay. Now, the way to do it is to relax. Gently press the point and relax the whole of your upper chest, and see if you can feel a connection with that point and this area here. Okay. You'll feel it traveling up underneath the armpit and deep into the chest there. Okay, do you want to try that? keeping the arm bent, and we're grasping hold of the elbow like that, gently pressing in. That's it. Okay, got it? Okay, so now we're going to follow the channel down. Just doing some self-shiatsu here. And what we're doing is we're internally seeing if we can feel any good points that feel like they're calming this area here, okay? And you'll know when you get one because your thumb will sink into that place and you'll get a feeling of calmness and opening right the way up the channel. Okay, so just slowly move down. Okay, now as you approach the wrist crease, it'll probably feel, whoa, this is good. And that's because this point here, right in the wrist crease, is one of the main points to calm the mind. And it's mainly used for insomnia, anxiety, that kind of thing. It's a really, really important point. Heart 7. Okay, now if you just hold that for a bit, relax your arms. You're going to get that feeling going right into your chest, really calming. And then we follow it along. And it goes along the inside of the little finger here, down to the nail, okay? Really useful stuff, okay? Really useful. So let's do the other arm. Crease. Indentation just before the bone here, just feeling around until you can feel it. It's difficult to feel when your arm's straight. It has to be kind of bent, and then you can feel like a hollow there, okay? We're going to hold that point. Relax the upper chest. Very good. And we're going down the heart channel. We're looking for any places that give us a kind of calm feeling. I've got one right, where is it? There. Okay. And that's just an access point into the channel. Nice and relaxed all the way down. Great stuff, right? And as you get closer to the wrist, you'll start feeling it even stronger. And certainly when you get to the wrist crease here, it's a very calming point, heart 7. I'm just going to hold that for a little bit. If you want to use this at night for insomnia or generally during the day, another way that I get my clients to do it is to put their thumb there and just rest. If you're lying down, you can rest that on your tummy as you're sleeping. Okay. We're going to go down here and then to the little finger. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's check in now. Okay, let's make sure we've got kidney 1 open. Make sure we've got that solid base. Keeping the breathing nice and low in the dantian. Relaxing the middle burner. Now, if we tune into the upper burner and tune into your arms, you can feel that kind of tingly, activated feeling in the arms from the pericardium and the heart channel work we've done. And if you tune into the upper heater, you're going to feel quite a lot more space there. And that's what we need. Nice, calm kind of space. Okay, excellent. So now let's do some local work on some of the yang channels, and the importance of that is because we need to get this whole area released so that we can get that floating up, connected to the earth. Okay, so let's just do some self-shiatsu for the face. We're just kind of like washing the face, pulling the ears, relaxing the jaw. Very good, okay. Pressing just here. It's a very important point for the eyes. This is bladder 1. Okay, and we can press gently around the eyes. Very good. And now let's go down the sides of the head. And this is where the gallbladder channel runs. This is the same channel that we worked on the leg all the way down there for the middle burner. And this is where it starts, right up here, and it's connected to the eyes. So if you get a lot of kind of frustration and anger, you feel you can't focus your eyes, it's probably going to be a liver and gallbladder thing that's happening to you. Okay, and then we have the upper part of the face. We've got the upper sinuses here, and we're going to press along the top of the head. This is the bladder channel. That's the one that goes all the way down the back, that we've worked on before, right the way down into the feet. Okay, and then very importantly, especially for the middle heater, we've got these points here, which is the stomach point. So if you work around underneath your cheekbone, there's a really important point here, right underneath here, just below where your eyes are. That's the stomach 3. And in fact, the stomach channel is all around the jaw, because obviously it's to do with chewing. It's connected to the whole digestive system. Okay, so let's just get that nice and relaxed. Okay, now the stomach channel runs down here, and it's really important that this big muscle here, this SEM muscle, which runs, you can see it if you turn your head, you can see it there, you can see it on me there, here. Okay, you can get hold of that whole muscle, and we're going to use our knuckles here, my thumbs behind it, all right, and I'm just pressing and squeezing it. Okay, and this is where the vagal nerve, it runs down through this area here, so we want to make sure that this, make sure the SCM muscle is nicely relaxed and released. Okay, and now, very importantly, we need to release the bladder and the gallbladder channels in the neck, because if we're feeling heavy, we need that to get our connection up into the heavens. Okay, so we can do that this way. Remember, we've done this before, where we get the heels of the hand, and we squeeze in the neck, squeeze the neck here. Okay, very good. Okay, so now once we've released all these yang channels, we really need to make sure that we get any obstructed energy down and out through the arms and the legs. So let's just tap here along the top of the shoulders, and then tap down the arms, and then brush off down the arms, just tapping and brushing down the arms. This is to get any yang channel obstructions in the head out, down through the limbs. And that's going to be important for creating that lightness and that secure connection upwards with the spine. Okay. Okay, and you can go down the sides of the body. If you're working with someone at home and you've got someone who can work your back, you want to take it in turns just to use loose fists or sides of the hands. If you're on your own, like I am, then you just have to do your best you can, tapping down here and then tapping like this. And this is the bladder channel, the one we started right here, goes all the way down the back, and all the way down the backs of the legs, down to the feet. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's a nice little completion in a way, because we started off by releasing the spine, didn't we, back at the beginning of the evening or the morning. So let's just work on our feet a little bit. Okay, we did a lot of work on the spine at the start, and doing the head and going down the body kind of completes the whole thing. But one of the things we really want to do is make sure that we've got a completely open kidney 1 and soles of the feet. Okay, take the midline of your foot. In fact, I'll take my sock off so you can see. Midline of the foot, 1/3 of the distance, that's kidney 1. Okay, so let's open that up. Okay, we can do some doing. Okay, so here's some important points and some important areas. If you feel between your big toe and your second toe and just wiggle them around there, that area around here is a very important point. It's liver 3, and that point is one that gets very blocked if you get frustration and kind of anger and depression and things like that. And if you feel this is a little bit stiff or even very stiff, it's really good idea to free up this thing. So can you see what I'm doing? What I'm doing is I'm taking the big toe and the second toe and the bones that connect to them, and I'm wiggling them like this and freeing them up, because if we can get that area freed up, that's going to reflect all the way up into the middle burner and keep the middle burner really nice and open. Okay, and this is used a lot in acupuncture and shiatsu. And in fact, when we start the shiatsu session, we just hold onto people's feet. We can tell a lot about what's happening in their body just by simple things like, is this blocked? Is this weak here? Is there obstruction in the other channels in the foot? So we can kind of read your whole body. You might wonder what we're doing sometimes when we do that. We're just holding the feet, feeling around. We're actually kind of getting a readout for all kinds of different bits of information about your energy. Okay, so here we go. Feels better already, right? And we're stretching the toes, stretching them this way and this way. Okay, here's another really important point. The source point of the kidney channel. Take your ankle, go back to the Achilles tendon, and there's a point right in there. Now, can you feel this connection? If we hold that point and we hold kidney 1, if you can reach down there, and if you just relax the 2 points, you should be able to get a feeling of connection there between the 2 points. Okay, if you can't reach your foot, okay, if you're too stiff to reach your foot, that's fine. You can just imagine the connection, see if you can feel it internally. And we go up, and now what we can do is we can work up the kidney channel here, which is directly up from this point all the way up the inside of the leg. Just see if we can do that by just relaxing, feeling a connection between here and here. And if you can't reach, it doesn't matter. You can just do it by just imagining the channel connection inside your body. Wow, that's a good point. Sometimes you just find really good points that kind of connect up. Yeah, and so we go up into just behind the knee, and that's working the kidney channel. Okay, very good. So now let's do the other foot. Just comparing my feet here for a moment. Okay, definitely feels a lot better. So let's do the same thing. Check your liver 3, see how it's feeling. I'm going to wiggle it about. Opening the foot up. Now my fingertips are going into kidney 1, opening the foot. Excellent stuff, right? So now it's just, I'm just stretching the toes, bending them this way, that way. And I'm going to do some percussion on kidney 1. That's it. If I can get the camera to focus, there we are. Okay, and the channel runs like this. It runs up here into kidney 3 behind the ankle. So we want to just get that really energized. You'll really notice a difference when we stand up again, and we you'll feel the connection with the earth so much stronger. Okay, so let's try kidney 1, kidney 3, connecting, pressing up along the back of the foot, back of the leg like this. There you go. Okay, now that's connection of the kidney channel, and that's really good again for opening up. We'll find out in a second when we stand up. You'll feel the difference. Okay, it feels kind of crazy to make ourselves lighter by working on our feet, but you'll see what I mean in a minute when we stand up. And it's all to do with yin and yang, the connection between yin and yang. So look. Oh, how does that feel? Pretty amazing, right? Doesn't that feel so much freer? Okay, so now look, we're going to stand and we're going to work, check internally. Okay. Now remember that most of you felt pretty heavy before, okay, and kind of like everything was kind of sinking down. Okay, so now check this out. Some of you I know felt a bit floaty, but just see how you feel now. Feet really open, okay? It's very easy to take our mind down and connect down into the earth, and that solid feeling enables us to lift our energy up. So let's just do this with a few breaths. Relax your hips, feel connected with the earth. Very good. Now, let's bring our attention to our head top, and we're going to just allow that to float up and create space all the way down the spine. Very good. Okay, now can you feel that lightness? And it's not just a superficial feeling of going like this. It's a very deep feeling of being lifted up from the earth. Okay, and that's what connects us with that yang energy, that movement that we need, movement and hope and positivity, warmth, activity. That's all the yang aspects that we need to bring into our body. Excellent. Okay, so that's the structural feeling. And now we'll energize the breath. We're going to do this exercise to finish up with. Okay, we're going to keep the breath down into the lower abdomen. We'll just finish off by doing this, sinking down, breathing in. Okay, and pushing up from the earth and lifting up, creating lightness in our whole body. Sinking down, feeling the connection with the earth. Floating up in a powerful way, supported from the earth. Okay, that's what we need, breathing in. Okay, keep that breathing nice and low, breathing into the dantian. Push from the earth and float up. Okay, breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, excellent. And just resting now, just check into our burners. The lower burner, remember what that was like before, an hour ago? Middle burner. And the upper burner. Okay, and now just assess how we're feeling connected to heaven and earth. Do we feel more poised and balanced between heaven and earth than we did an hour ago? We're just tuning in. Okay, excellent. Very good. So we've just got 2 minutes to find out how you're doing. So I'm going to launch the How Are You Feeling Now poll, and we'll find out whether you feel more balanced, about the same, or less balanced. Let's just see how we're doing as a group. Okay, it's been an amazing 22 weeks. We found out a lot about you, and 97%, I can live with that. Okay, it's been a fantastic experience seeing you all the way through lockdown, out the other side, or back in and out again, wherever you are in the world. And as I say, I'm going to take a break for 3 weeks, and Kat and Basti are going to take over the class for the next 3 weeks. They're going to keep in all your favorite bits and add some stuff of their own. Yeah, big thanks to Kat. Here she's coming on. Yeah, hey, thank you very much, Kat. Great. Okay, good. So really good luck for the next 3 weeks. Have a lot of fun with the group. I'm sure you and Basti have a riot. You have a really good time. Okay, great. And yeah, that's it. The Shiatsu Center is open. And I just want to say a really big thank you for all the donations that have come in over the last 5 months. They have really been a significant help to us. They've helped us pay the rent. We're still here. We're just about surviving, and we're moving back into face-to-face sessions. So if you want to book a face-to-face session, please just get in touch with us, ring us up, or send us an email, and we'll start to get you in. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Kat. Yeah. Yeah. See you in a few weeks. Bye.